Hey everybody, it's Goblin X, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be playing another sealed event of Lorwyn Eclipsed. This is the Arena Direct, where we are playing best of one sealed, trying to get 6 or 7 wins before only 2 losses. All it takes is getting bombed out one or twice, or mana screwed once or twice, and you'll be out of this event. Very, very high variance, but very high reward, as we can get some physical Magic the Gathering cards. Again, buyer beware, $30 event that's super, super high variance. But you know how it is. We always like to make 7 videos of these for you all. So that's, if you don't want to spew gems, you don't have to. I'm here to do it for you. Without further ado, let's see what we get to play with. Today, these rares are kind of all over the place. There is a bit of a chunk in black, white, and red, because you can flip the grub with red, so if that's in black and red, it'll be better. Multiple goblins between grub and champion of the weird. So then by playing black, red at the core, splash in a little bit of white for Bree and emptiness, and then know that we can always play emptiness on double black, and sometimes, when we're really lucky, be able to use both abilities. Kirill can be played off of just the red. So black, red, splash, white gives us access to the most rares, the highest power level stuff. I think Champion of the Weird, Gloom Ripper, Bree, Emptiness, and Grub are all our strongest rares, and they're all really good. But they're a little bit deck dependent. Gloom Ripper obviously needing a lot of elves. Grub needing a lot of goblins. Champion needing a lot of goblins. Bree and Emptiness, I think, are the most flexible of these rares. You can kind of shove them into anything and they'll be pretty great. And then Kirill's just okay. Kirill doesn't do an insane amount of stuff, but pretty fun and still worth playing. All right, what do we got? Multicolored and colorless. Got a Changeling Wayfinder and a Foraging Wickermaw for fixing in any deck. And then the very mediocre Springleaf Drum. A couple Eclipsed Realms, but we're probably not going to be that deep on one specific type. So that doesn't help a ton. We do have Reaping Willow in black-white here. We'll probably try to play. Very good value if you can get that reanimate effect off of it. So that's pretty cool. Nothing else super interesting in the multicolored. So let's check out each color now. Checking out our white first. There's not actually very many white cards here. A lot of these are our hybrid cards that fit into other colors as well. Not to mention that some of these creatures are pretty mediocre without cards that care about their types. Like the Foul Knight. Kithkeeper could be fun if we're going red, white, black. And I do like the Shield Bearers a lot. And then we do have removal. We have double keep out, liminal hold, and crib swap if you're nasty. Yeah. White looks fine. What about blue? No hybrid blue cards. So it's just whatever's in the color. A lot of non-creature spells, some hexproof tricks, some bounce spells, some counter spells. How good are the creatures? We've got a Glamour Gifter for a great creature. Rhyme Speaker to maybe draw some cards, and Omni Changeling's a good one too. Blue's interesting. It's definitely a support color, as a lot of the creatures are kind of mediocre, but it has a few really good creatures and a lot of non-creature spells. So blue looks fine. Black looks pretty great. Triple Boggart Mischief Goblin deck. Sounds pretty fun to me. Those do play really well in multiples. We have a good chunk of goblins here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the Chaos Spewer. And that's out of black alone. So if we have a few red goblins, that'll be even better. Prideful Feastling helps out too. We also have enough elves to help that Gloom Ripper out, even if it's only doing +1/+0, -0/-1, which is the worst case scenario. It could still be okay filler. But we have a couple Scarblade Scout for early elves that'll end up in our grave often, and they're strong enough cards to run in like a goblin deck. And then we've got the Moonglove Extractor 2, the Dawnhand Eulogist. So there's a few elves in here out of black for Gloom Ripper, even if we don't play green, which is good. There's only one removal spell. So 1 Blight Rot and 1 Emptiness and 1 Gloom Ripper. I guess Curse Tosser's also removal. Yeah, they're all kind of narrow removal, only kills low toughness stuff. Emptiness and Gloom Ripper and Curse Tosser and Blight Rot to an extent, but removal nonetheless. So we're hoping that our red has a lot of removal. Unless we go like black-white, then we get to use Liminal Hold for big stuff, but Keep Out also only kills the small stuff. What about red? Do we have some good goblins in here to round out the triple festival deck? I think we do. I think we do. We have triple Feed the Flames, which is great. 5 damage is still only going to kill slightly smaller toughness stuff. It's not going to kill everything, but 5 is a lot. 5 can kill a lot of cards, even if it doesn't kill literally everything. We have double Bone Club Berserker, which is usually kind of filler because it does get blocked pretty easily in board stalls, and it will still have that problem here. But when we have 3 of the Blight one make 2 1/1s cards, this could really be absolutely massive really early. I'm happy we got more goblins here with a Sting Slinger, double Berserker, and then the Changeling. We may be running enough Changelings to even play this Aggressor. I'm really happy to have the Feed the Flames, and the Explosive Prodigy is another great one. Bree works really well with Bold Rear Aggressor, so I'm thinking I really like Black-Red Splash White. Splash White for Bree and the Liminal Hold, the best removal spell out of our white cards, and maybe even splash in a Kithkeeper at the top for the Vivid, since we will be in 3 different colors. Yeah, that all sounds very enticing to me. But we will check out our final color here, last but not least. What do we have in green? We have 1 Morkan size, no removal. Not a lot. Fine filler creatures and the really good Morkan size. We could force black-green elves with Morkan size and the Gloom Reaper, but the deck's not fully there. You know, these are all the elves that we have in green. And there's no removal in the color. Yeah. I mean, it's okay, but I don't think it is as good as our red, white, black build will be. Red, black goblins at the core, getting maximum value out of Grub and the champion, and then play a little bit of white as well for the Bree Splash. Anybody in here we really want to cut? Maybe Moon Club Extractor. Going lower on elves. Maybe Blackthorn. Although I like it a lot with Reaping Willow. And I do want to play a Liminal Hold. I am going to have to cut a chunk of cards. This is 50 cards right now. Play Liminal Hold. Maybe Kithkeeper. I cut so many cards out of here. We'll cut this Elemental out of here. At 2 mana. For the Spikeling. Nine goblins. 3 shapeshifters. Triple Boggart Mischief. I want to go hard on these Berserkers so much. They're crazy with Bree, too. I think we have a lot of fun abilities to copy with Kirill. Everything at 3 mana is a Goblin or a Kirill. I don't really want to lower myself on 2-drops here. And I think the non-Goblin 2-drops are really good. It feels like I'm supposed to cut Force. Maybe I'm supposed to cut Eulogist. Normally really good, but a little worse in here. Aggressor's fun with Bree, but outside of Bree, it's just on like 2/2 changelings and stuff. I think that's a fair cut. Still gotta cut 8 more cards. Mostly creatures. I feel like Bone Club Berserkers would be so fun in here, but like, just don't have that much room in this deck. Okay, if I consider the Boggart Mischiefs as more 3-mana creatures, I should be cutting a lot at 3. Right, because we play a 1 or a 2 drop and then we blight onto it with the Mischief. On turn 3. There's no way I'm cutting Grub. No way I'm cutting Changeling Wayfinder. We do have a lot of triggered abilities for Kirill. I mean, like, Kirill doubling a Boggart Mischief, and we've got 3 copies of that is crazy. Doubling a Kithkeeper is crazy. Doubling an Emptiness is crazy. Doubling a Gloom Ripper is crazy. Doubling a Reaping Willow, that's an activated ability. Yeah, just triggered abilities. So Emptiness is triggered, Kithkeeper's triggered, Boggart Mischief is triggered. Gloom Ripper's triggered. Breeze End Step triggers triggered. It's in the name. I want to play Kirill pretty bad. Yeah, maybe we cut the Feastling and the Chaos Spear then at 3. Still 6 cards to cut. No way am I cutting Champion of the Weird. No way am I cutting Reaping Willow. No way am I cutting Bree. That leaves Berserkers. Blackthorn plays really well with Reaping Willow. That's it for the cards that it plays really well with. Maybe we could cut a Blackthorn here. We have cut down on elves for Gloom Ripper quite a bit. But it is always at least 5 mana 4/4. Give something -1 toughness for a turn. There are little goblin tokens and merfolk tokens and stuff that could kill by itself without even playing a Scarblade Scout. This is really quite tragic, but I'm heavily thinking we need to cut these Bone Club Berserkers. Yeah, and then Kithkeeper's really expensive, and it's maximum Vivid 3. Unless we have exactly Wickermaw out. That won't even be that often. Yeah, I'll drop Kithkeeper. 3 cuts to go. I think I'm going to drop the Blackthorn. I can still blight onto Reaping Willow with Champion, Stingslinger, and Boggart Mischiefs. I do want a lot of 1s and 2s for Mischief to get ran out on turn 3, so I don't think I'm cutting any of those still. We can play Emptiness as a 2-mana removal spell as well, instead of just a finisher. So we could maybe cut a land here. Am I cutting a Gloom Ripper? Which feels like essentially never right. Even just with 3 other elves, 2 elves and a changeling. Get doubled off Kirill, too. You know, I'll keep it in here. I guess I'll just cut 1 of the earlier plays. Prankster or Boggart are the weaker early goblins. I'll drop Boggart. Slightly better to blight onto the Prankster because I can do it twice with these blight 1 cards. And we'll call it a deck here. Double check our mana. 14 black cards, 7 red, 5 white. Okay, we changed that to 8/6/2. The only cards that need white are Bree and Liminal Hold. We have a Wickermaw and a Wayfinder. It's only 2 pieces of fixing, though. So I'll still keep it on double planes. And then we will call it a deck here. See how far this one can take us. Sand's got very good mana, and it can do some grub stuff. So we'll keep. Playing against a red deck. They start with Soulbright Seeker, revealing a Prisma Basher. Big finisher. Flame Braider's the play. Poke for 2. Here's a Wicker Maw. Surveil a Boggart Mischief. Keep a Boggart Mischief. Enters or transforms. Return a Goblin from your grave to hand. So we want to play Wayfinder first, get it engraved, then play Grub. Then when we flip this, you can blight one and create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of the blighted creature. It's like double up enter the battlefield effects and stuff. That Flame Braider is terrifying. Flame Braider on the play towards like a turn 3 Prisma Basher or something here with this Soulbright Seeker. I guess they don't have the double green. Unless they play a forest here. Gristle Glutton. And Gristle Glutton. Okay. At least they don't Prisma Basher. Let's run out Wayfinder first, grabbing the white source. Double Gristle Glutton does mean our opponent is going to be digging through their jaws here, discarding a card, drawing a card every turn. They have to blight every time they do that, at least. So they'll be making their board smaller. Plunge in. I'd rather Wayfinder die here, so we're going to put Wayfinder where it definitely dies. Ransacking's fine. Trade a Restless Ransacking for just a 1/2 that already had a good enter effect. Sounds like good value to me. Draw another Boggart Mischief. I think I want to flood the board with Boggart Mischief triggers. Then, before we go grub here, we could also just feed the flames the Flame Braider, but they're already down to 3 cards in hand. They've got a treasure token, so they'll have 3 mana minimum, probably 4, even without the Flame Braider. Soulbright Seeker makes it 5. They'll still be at like 5 out of 6 for Prisma Basher if they hit any land, even if I kill Flame Braider. Use double treasure on Prisma Basher. Buff a couple of their tramplers for the turn. Yep. Take a hit, and then we gotta deal with this. Just takes 7. There's a Bree. Depending of your end step if you gained life this turn. So if I play Bree, then the turn I play a Boggart Mischief, I will have technically gained life. But I'm taking a big Basher hit because I can only deal 5 damage. I would need specifically Liminal Hold to kill Basher here. Eight life. This is not a great spot. Because, I mean, I could chump Basher and feed the flames it to kill it, but then I'm probably dying elsewhere without getting more creatures here. They have 3 spells in their hand still. I mean, maybe the route out here was just feed the flames Flame Braider last turn. It's too late now, because the Basher's already out, which is the big problem. So, I mean, we could make it so they play less spells this turn, but they still give trample to the only relevant card, which is the Soulbright Seeker. Because the trample on the 1/3s doesn't matter. Flamekin Guildweaver. Send in Prisma Basher and some Gluttons. Guess Wickermaw's only ever chumping 1 at some point. Informant. Liminal Hold is like the one out. That is not Liminal Hold. If I attack with any goblins, they just choose not to block. We don't get any life gain triggers for Bree. If I play Grub and Wayfinder, that's 3 toughness. 3 plus 7. 7 toughness total is way too small against this board. Feed the Flames 1 creature, and that's all I can do. I don't have enough mana to do anything else. Okay, they got us. I mean, this looks pretty unwinnable. If we did just choose to kill Flame Raider at the earliest opportunity, we would have slowed them down. They have to start using Gluttons towards mana. I guess that's what we did wrong, what we could have done differently. Maybe that could have slowed them down long enough to get us towards trying to do Bree stuff, but that was just a gnarly hand from our opponent. We start off 0-1 heading into game 2. Here we are on the play for game 2. Our opponent starts with Evolving Wilds for a swamp. Start with our Wayfinder for our plains. Gangly Stompling for our opponent. We set up the Mischief. We wait to trade off any goblins until we have double Mischief out. Gathering Stone, probably on elves here because they're green-black. There it is. They keep their card on top, but it is not an elf. More Mischief. Each Goblin Death now draining our opponent for 2 life. Jesus, they have Champions of the Perfect and Morkhan's Loyalists in their pool. We're happy with anything that happens here. We will trade these tokens into whatever trick we can get. So trade them into the charge. Drain 4. Find Scarblade Scout. That's interesting to me because I could hit a better Goblin pre-grub. So we'll play that first. Did not hit anything good. So grab back a Wayfinder. Oh, we did mill our last plains. That's kind of rough. Plains and Wickermaw, so we're not going to be able to emptiness for double white because we can't Wayfinder into the next plains and we can't draw Wickermaw for the white source either. We hit the last 2 white sources in our deck, the 2 out of 27. They've got the Soul Ring Elf and the Gathering Stone, Champions of Perfect, and the Lord. The Nameless inversion for the removal spell that counts as an elf in your graveyard as well. Some synergistic stuff over there. Bogslither's Embrace are rare. That would have been incredible in the sealed pool. Unfortunately, 0 copies of Bogslither's Embrace over here. If we can have 7 more goblins die, we will win this game. If they don't play any life gain. Which they could have life gain, being an elf deck. Some black-based life gain. The main deckable enchantment removal is gross. Now we need 13 more goblins to die. A little bit of flood. See what Wayfinder finds. Let's go swamp on it. And then we drop Sting Slinger. Could have sent in the Scarblade Scout there. That'd been reasonable. Stingslinger's gonna get inverted. There's Grove Guide. Draw a card. Go to 16. Boggart Prankster doesn't do anything. Play a land and pass. Draw another trick here. Nope, we do trade into Stompling. More can size. Might as well. The Elf Bomb Rare, the Elf Lord, and the Elf Army Producer with the Morken size. It's my third Boggart Mischief. We have 8 damage on board with our Goblin deaths. They would be dead if they couldn't have blown up the first Mischief. Oh my god, they've got the Hexproof Indestructible rare too. That's also an elf. And Bristlebane. Might as well keep playing rares. Might as well. Eulogist for life gain is really bad. Gets rid of like our 1 out here of life draining them. They got the Moon Vigil Adherence and Morken size together. Those cards are gnarly. Side by side. No attacks is wild. We flood anyway. And I'm just going to move on, get to the next sealed event. There's no point drawing this one out any longer. There's nothing in our deck that's going to counteract that. That's just a way better deck than ours. Yep, I mean, Goblins is the weakest archetype, and we really felt it here. Game 1 was the only spot I think things could have gone differently. Had we just fed the Flames their mana to work there, it would have actually played well, because they didn't draw another land for some time, so they would have had to start activating Gristle Gluttons to dump their hand as quickly as they did. But my reasoning for not feeding was like, if I feed the Flames the Elemental, they just top deck a land. They're still at 5 mana already. I still should have just killed it there. They also only had 3 cards in hand at the time, so I was like, what's the odds? Those are expensive enough. It's just 3 cards. If it's like 2/2 drops, then feeding feels bad there, but should have fed the Flames. Game 1 could have gone differently. It wasn't nearly a close enough game that it's like, if I did that, we definitely would have won. They still had a really good hand, and having double Gristle Glutton made sure that they were safe from us trying to keep them off mana, because they could draw 2 cards deeper every single turn looking for those lands. So certainly wouldn't have been like a guaranteed win or anything, but it would have been a much better chance than how it ended up. Yeah, I mean, I also think we just drew pretty poorly. We flooded out pretty hard in our second loss, and we didn't hit our best cards like Champion of the Weird and Emptiness. Our big rares that come with like removal attached are kind of our best cards, although our last opponent's deck was so absurd that even had we hit those, I'm not sure how much they really would have helped. Yeah, mediocre stuff from the most mediocre archetype in the set, I guess. We'll grab our first loss at an 0-2 here to balance out our 5 and 4 win runs beforehand. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.